Wilson is had his hands a lot to do in that police department. I believe that's like the second guy in command. I believe Williamson calls the shots. Joe Wilson has a lot to do with it, and then Hagler. That's the way I think that chain of command runs in the police department. That's my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen of the city of Flint, you don't have to believe me, but you check it out. In that police department, I think the chain of command goes Don Williamson, Joe Wilson, and then Deputy Chief Hagler. I think Williamson talks with Joe Wilson, the former county sheriff. And, Joe knows right from wrong, and Joe understands politics. But I know Joe Wilson can't call the shots over Don Williamson. He can try. So I don't know how fast we're going to fix this problem, but I think the mayor is running a risk because he's turning that police department against him. And that police department, in my opinion, will have a lot to say and do with who will be the next mayor in the city of Flint. I know when we talked privately, Mr. Barnett, you said something about he's done a good job paving streets. But there's more to running city government than just paving streets. Crime, creation of jobs, other safety issues, ambulances. When he first ran, he said that he would have the ambulances back in the police department pretty quick. I mean, in the fire department. Remember, we used to dispatch ambulances out of the fire stations.
Right.
We don't have that. People are upset about all these, some cars getting towed out of their driveway. So just human relations, the way you treat people and your personnel. I know that there's employees in City Hall fearful and scared of their livelihood. So I think the mayor has failed the city in providing a certain civilized leadership. And I don't think that he'll be reelected. I'm going to do what I can to elect somebody. And I know the petitions is out, Mr. Barnett. And you seem to be a civilized, dignified man. Should I circulate your petitions, Mr. Barnett, for mayor? What do you think?
Yeah. No, I don't think I'm there yet.
You could put your wife, Miss Barnett, as the city administrator, maybe. I don't know.
No. If I ran the city, it would be totally different. And I think, your relatives would probably be the last people that I would try to deal with in the city government. I would work more with the citizens of the city. I would listen to the needs and the wants that the citizens of Flint want, because that's where the operation of the city begins. Once we satisfy our citizens and give them what they need to operate, like block clubs and crime watches is a plus for the police department. Okay? We do a lot of stuff that helps the police department, which is part of the city government. And you would think that rather than disbanding and disrupting what's going on with the citizens, such as the Officers Green's job and stuff like that, that we know how to work with, rather than starting all over again,
I think what he's trying to do, Mr. Barnett, and I could be wrong, but because this is an election year, and because of some of the issues that some of the black officers has raised, and Officer Green might not have been vocal, but he stuck with that group.
Right.
I believe he's trying to reorganize and put somebody in charge of those block clubs who will help him campaign through those block clubs. That's what I think.
Mr. May, I hope that that's not the case. And I hope that when our taping gets out, that everybody will know my position as a citizen of this city, is that the way the city is being run today is like a boss at General Motors. And that's not politics. That's not even city government.
So, Mr. Barnett, you're involved with these block clubs and community groups.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that other heads of crime watches and block clubs and community groups are feeling this the same way you are, or you are just an individual that's not in the majority?
Mr. May, everybody that I have talked to is frustrated. They're totally, frustrated and disgusted with the situation downtown. There is no reason why the city of Flint should be paying 2 police officers to do what 1 police officer was
already doing.
It don't make sense. It just don't make sense to me.
Mr. Barnett, maybe the mayor, Don Williamson, maybe he's a genius. Maybe between now, August, November, maybe he's going to fix this frustration.
Mm-hmm.
You said at the beginning that the weed part of it was grant money.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's going to dump a lot of campaign grants your way, block club, community group way. Maybe he's going to use some of his own money. If he's worth 400 to 800 million, maybe you guys got 10 million of his own money coming between now and August. If that happens, will that convince you that this is the right guy to keep moving us forward?
No.
Because it's going to be some things happen during this campaign.
No, I'm not a person that can be bought. Not like a lot of people that I think that is being bought. Money, as far as this city goes, what I do is for the community. It's not for me. What I want to do is to make it better for everybody in the city. And if he dumped $10 million over here in the south area, what about the rest of the city? You understand what I'm saying?
Well, Mr. Barnett, you hit a nerve with me when you said, I'm not one of those people who can be bought. Now, the reason you hit a nerve with me, because I've been accused of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how close you watched it, but I helped Don Williamson, in my opinion, along with some others, get elected last time.
Mm-hmm.
I know when we talked off camera with your wife, she said she didn't help like I did, or might not have been involved. I don't want to talk about private conversation, but the point I'm trying to make is that's an accusation that people made toward me. You've been bought.
Mm-hmm.
And I said then, during the campaign, because Woodrow Stanley had a talk radio show,
mm-hmm.
and I was on that show as I was running that Williamson's campaign. I was running the North End headquarters, not far from the North End precinct.
Mm-hmm.
This headquarters was located on the corner of Martin Luther King and Flint Park.
Okay.
And that's where we were running his North End headquarters, and I was in charge of that. And I had charged him a consultant fee
mm-hmm.
to run that. And I didn't consider myself as being bought, but I bought into his campaign promises. I bought into what he had us believe in. We believed he would use his own money, which wasn't a big thing. You don't have to. The taxpayers give you a general fund of about $163 million. We did believe that he would immediately institute ambulance service because it was a lady who was being transported to, I think, McLaren or Hurley, and because of the out county type ambulance services that the city had at that time, we believe her life could have been saved. So that was one of the big issues. I also told him about the Millionaires Club in order to help small business and entrepreneurs start